Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to today's edition of Prime Hour. You are going to be learning a lot again when it comes to relationships and marriage. This evening, we are looking at what we may call at semi-marriage, cohabiting, commonly called come we stay. The phenomenon has been around for so many years and is actually very prevalent. Today, we're going to be looking at the possible causes of this phenomenon. We have many brothers and sisters living together who have been unable to visit our parents to bless their living together. They have been unable to go to the council to be recognized by the state. No, they are men of God. What is responsible for this, and how do we curtail or fix this situation that is becoming very prevalent in our society? We are discussing this lone topic this evening with our panelists who are in the house. Ready with us, Apostle Ambe Valentine Ngwa is our permanent consultant in the house. Good evening and welcome, Apostle.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening, my co-panelists. Good evening, Cameroonians, and welcome to Tuesday Prime Hour session with Leonard, the anchor man. Stay glued to your screen as we bring you very important information today about come we stay, in quotes.
We also are in the company of Apostle Afred Esenge. Good evening and welcome, Apostle.
Good evening. Greet you, my fellow panelists. As they used to say, come we stay, not the stay.
Okay, come we stay. But some come we stay. Some come we stay. Don't stay. Yes, they stay though. We also
at the end we hear the problem now.
We also are in the company of another apostle, Lefor Divine. They call him the Love Doctor, all the way from Boya, Southwest Regional Capital. Good evening and welcome, Apostle.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's always an honor. It's a privilege. I know some people have missed me for a while. I received quite a number of messages. I really want to appreciate those who have not seen me for some 2 weeks, and they were like, what's happening? Well, the Love Doctor is here again, and I'm so glad. Good evening, my fellow panelists, and to all our viewers all over the world. Thank you for patronizing such a wonderful program, and we are glad that the feedback is great. This is another beautiful topic, and it's another wonderful time, and all the way from Boya, here's the Love Doctor. We're going to share, and I believe it's going to be another wonderful edition. Thank you.
Also with us is Reverend TAtoh Kenneth. He is an expert in the domain of what we regularly discuss on Tuesdays. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. Good evening to you. Good evening to our viewers. Good evening to co-panelists, the apostles. I am so happy that we are on again tonight. I believe we are going to have wonderful moments to share, to be able to edify some of these brothers and sisters who came and are staying, and, and they'll be able to see how to take a decision to the contrary after we've shared tonight.
Okay, we also are going to be having contributions from Bomen, the Northwest Regional Capital, through Mrs. Asanji Yvette, who is a very, very good consultant, expert in the domain of relationship and marriage. I'm sure she can also counsel very well when it comes to come we stay. We are starting with you, Apostle Ambe Valentine Ngwa. This phenomenon, is it dying down or increasing in our society? And those who are coming to meet you, what are they telling you is responsible for coming and living together without officializing their stay together?
Yes, Mr. Liu, talking from a typical African cultural background, this come we stay was a taboo in our early days.
Okay.
Girls were never, I repeat, bold enough, courageous enough to pack their things and walk into a man's house without any official handing over by their parents. In our ancient societies of in those days, in our ancient societies, when you admire a lady, the first thing you have to do is to make a move towards the girl, and the next, the family is notified. Once the family is notified, marriage arrangements are already set in place. Girls leave their father's house as virgins. Sometimes, not virgins, but they officially go when they are married. It's true, the cost of marriage in those days was not that too expensive, because basic things around could be gathered for bride price. I want to also believe that civilization that came is one of the reasons that gingered the camel stay stuff for two reasons. One, the bride price became so exorbitant that some people don't even have the money and they want to spend the rest of their life with a lady. So since they cannot accommodate, they cannot afford the income to marry their girl officially, they will impregnate the girl as a means of the family handing the girl over to them. And then another point in civilization also that affected them is that human rights. When children reach 18, 20 years, they are no longer called minors. In our ancient society, we did not have minors and measures. But today we have minor, we have measure. When you sleep with a girl from 15 years old downward, it's called minor, from 18 years and above. So when a girl reaches 20 years, that measure gives her the effrontery to move into a man's house. Yes, it gives her the impetus to think that she's matured enough to be independent. So she can move into a man's house and then they start living their life there. So I think civilization has punctured the African culture to some extent and equally giving our children some level of boldness to move. And then also one of the things is independence, financial independence. When people become financially independent, they feel like they are able now to keep a woman. As long as they can pay the bills, they can feed the woman. Even if they have not paid the woman's bride price, it is very possible for them to spend time with the woman, live with them. I had a case when I was growing up as a young man. A man was in love, a young guy was in love with a girl, and the parents were really against. Also, parents' resistance to marriage has caused cohabiting. When the parents resisted the young man thought that the only way for him to solve the problem was to impregnate the girl. They gave the girl the first pregnancy, they get carried and then delivered. While the parents were still contemplating, he landed number 2. So it was the parents who now carried the child and came and gave the guy that anytime you have money, you can come and pay and collect and pay for the girl. They just keep the girl for now. So you discover that I've given almost about 3 to 4 factors why the modern day cohabiting has become a very normal phenomenon, and it's on a rise. As a matter of fact, it's on a rise. We are into it every day, and now every now and then we see girls moving into people's houses without any official presentation, no marriage procedures put in place. They just jump there. Some staying for 5, 10, 20 years, give birth to their children. Then they just choose, okay, we are going to bless our marriage in church, and they are coming to bless their marriage with at least 6 children standing behind. And then some choose, okay, it has been for long, let's go and sign. And most women believe that when they go and sign, it means they've concretized the marriage and it has given their place in that home. So I think those are some of the basic factors. What we are going to be discussing detailedly, there are other factors also I know my co-panelists will bring up that will help us beef this topic.
Yes, but how do we understand the prevalence of this phenomenon today when we know that it was seen as a taboo in the days of our parents? He talks about civilization. It shows civilization has come, but we also have a lot of spirituality, religion. Many churches are now. Yeah, but these churches, are they not also supposed to help keep our girls at home?
What can churches do when poverty is prevailing?
Well, the church says no premarital sex now.
Yes, poverty is really prevailing in the nations, and you know, bride price has gone to skyrockets. The dowry and everything, the bride price, so high, and sometimes even the girls don't support that. So the highest thing to do is, if they see their man that they have feelings for, they stay with him. They stay with him until the day that the parents are ready to welcome them. And that's what it is. And the church also cannot do anything about it. But one of the things that the church does is that if you come to the church when you are cohabiting, the church, the pastors and all the like, they try to start doing some things to not separate. They try to coach you people to get, even though some dogmatic churches, some churches that are very dogmatic, they will tell you that they want to separate you. But you can't be talking about separating people who already have children. You can't, you can't be going about that. But if they are just starting, you can tell them, okay, that's you're living in sin, and you can change, you can decide to draw back and everything. But can they usually hear? Because if you drive them from this church, they jump and go to the next church. That's what is happening today. By the time you tell them that By the time you tell them that you have to formalize your marriage, they get to the next church where they are ready to make the husband assistant pastor and the wife, they make one big woman in the church. And then what happens? They just stay like that and they don't get married. And the pastor sometimes know that they are not married. And that is what is really happening. But the real thing that is really behind some of these things is poverty. And sometimes we cannot just talk about poverty, because if we want to count how much that boy spends finally on that girl and their family, even before seeing that you want to pay dowry or go to marriage, is very much. He spends much. If you want to count all the morning fish that you eat, you want to count all the pot soup that you prepare, you want to count all the chicken, all the sick bills, sometimes the girl says, my father is sick, you send money. My mother is having this problem, you send this. If you want to gather all that money, it's something that you would have gotten married to that woman earlier. And people have lost value. That's it. I'm talking about it because even some church people, even some pastors, young boys who are not yet married, they have that situation where they keep their one girl somewhere, and maybe you call it, some of them even come and stay. Come, we stay. They come. We have young pastors who keep these girls too in their houses for some time in the name of daughter and that kind of a thing. And it goes like that. It goes like that and goes like that. And at the end of the day, the pastor just goes and find one different girl and just marry. And that's how these things usually work. Because these boys keep you to stay with them when they are poor. But immediately they get some little finances, they look for the best girls, especially the girls that nobody has touched, the girl that is still a virgin, the girl that, has a good background, the girl whose parents are rich. I've seen it said that when I was in Tiku, I had that kind of situation where a neighbor was there, 2 children. See this guy, they were working, and immediately that guy got an employment in Limbe. He abandoned that girl and went and got married to another responsible girl. And the girl was there reporting everywhere. See me, this boy who I don't suffer with you and everything. Suffer with him means a waiting. There's a way things that must be done. Error, no matter how error is, no matter how error looks, how you design error, it's still error. It must be called error. That's exactly
many persons are living in this situation. This one says, Mr. Liu, good evening to all in the studio. I am so worried, for it is like you people are talking to me in all. But my question goes, thus, I have done my knock door, apply for court before the crisis boom, and I use what I have to do my wedding with, to sponsor her with, since we both have a child. How can I handle it now? Thanks. Great minds, please. I need my message to be handled squarely so as for my mind to be clear. I've never loved my wife conditionally in all, sir, because I haven't done my white wedding in all. Mr. Chiketo at Manjo, Mungo Division. Yes.
Yes, I'm glad. First, I want to ask, has he been officially married traditionally?
You see, he has done the knock door.
The knock door.
And was planning for court and that, and then the crisis came. He used the money to sponsor her there.
Yes, I think he should, if he can get to the point where he can do the traditional and the court, I'm just saying, without overthinking first about the white. I'm talking because we're looking at his financial situation.
But he could do the traditional and call for a pastor to just
That's
bless.
what I was getting there.
Okay.
But that's why I use the word white. I think we have handled this thing here. There's a difference between, white and the... I'm not saying that if he's a Christian, he should remove the God factor. But I'm saying that we are looking into the finances. If he can do the official traditional, and the day they do the traditional, he brings his pastor or priest or spiritual head, and they bless him.
He doesn't have the money for the traditional. That's what he's saying.
Okay, that's what he's saying. That's not, because for court it's not expensive.
Yes.
It's not expensive. So I don't think court can really be an issue. It might be at the level of the traditional. And if he already has children, I think he should really have a good discussion with these people's family, because following what they are saying, because because it's also very important, let somebody's parents not sit somewhere and they're angry that you have knocked up, because sometimes I've seen parents that they believe that it's a man who has frustrated their child, the plans and all of those things. I think it's really technical here, because is it that the list that was given to him, he cannot handle it, or has he had a discussion? Because I think this crisis also has made some parents also have had certain understanding. There are a lot of traditional rights that have been forfeited because of this crisis. For example, you will discover that very few people have gone to the village to do.
People don't go to the village.
They don't go to the village again. You can use that one now to your advantage. I think I did not do traditional as in going right to yes, to Campe right there. You know, though the crowds are not exactly, but you see, they sat down. The father-in-law said, "Okay, I'm first of all uncomfortable with a lot of rights." That way, anyway, that's just me. But I'm saying that there's a way that if he should have a discussion. Let's be practical about it. He should have a discussion. There is a way forward.
Yes.
Okay.
There is a way forward.
Discuss it with your in-laws.
Yes, with your
I'm
in-laws.
sure
Yes.
in the family you have a friend who can help
Yes.
you make the family of your wife to understand you.
Yes.
That's to be able to deal with that conscience problem.
Yes.
Make it official. Go to talk with them and make them to know that you are still the man.
Yes.
And you are still working towards something. Don't just say that crisis and then you close everything.
But at least he should call for a man of God to bless him, because that one is, you don't need.
No.
Okay, man of God will not bless when they're not
When they have not done it.
Yes.
How
A man
will
of
you
God
be
will
joining
not
people
bless.
who are not,
It's true,
who
it's
are
true,
not legally
it's true,
married?
it's
Yes.
true. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and your panel. Your topic is good to follow, hopefully to learn something encouraging. I feel all that is needed is good behavior from both parties. Listening keenly may come back as the program unfolds. Okay. Thank you very much. Greeting Apostle Ambe. Now, Reverend, we are looking at a phenomenon. Have we not also into this a lot because of unwanted pregnancies? Persons are living and nobody is prepared for marriage. We're just living. This thing comes like an accident. We have said severally that in as much as girls are prepared for marriage, men or the boys should also be prepared for it, so that they're not taken unawares.
Yeah, I think a cross-section of factors are responsible for this vice. I want to call it a vice,
Okay.
because it is not good for the moral phase of our society that we have people live for 5 years and above, as our topic holds, and they have children already, and they are not ready to formalize the relationship. It looks like somebody is exploiting the other, somebody is playing a hanky-panky. So I think a cross-section of factors are responsible, some of which Apostle Ambe had presented and Apostle Esenge also added. And I want to say sometimes these things are a result also of parental influence in terms of, no, my pikin Bali, no, if he marry for Bawok because they be down the fight. This kind of tribal restrictions, intertribal restrictions, they are also. So a girl will love a boy, and the two of them have decided that they want to spend their lives together, and these restrictions, these parental restrictions come into play, and they decide to say, okay, since they are refusing, we will stay until one day they will end up accepting. Some can also even be as a result of this other aspect of class. We've sponsored our daughter. She's gone this fine education, and she won't want her to marry a truck driver, or won't want her to marry a mechanic, as at times some of these jobs are looked upon to be menial, which is not a very objective factor when it comes to this issue of marriage. So I think parental influence is a very serious issue. There are sometimes parents delay the marriage of their kids for no just cause. They allow them to live together, they are refusing, and their hearts are beating for one another, yet parents are there trying to insist. Then, one for me, which I think is the key factor, is the ignorance factor. Many people don't know that this is not a good thing. Some people are like, I want to live with her, and you know, this kind of marital internship, they want to live with a lady. It's like they're wanting to taste and be very sure that this girl can be put in a family way, she can conceive and deliver. They want to be very sure that this girl is of good character. They want to be very sure.
5 years old.
Yeah, 5 years is already over. And now, when it's like that, you know, when they would have stayed for a very long time, or for these 5 years we're talking about, you see that they will. It's like it becomes a new normal. They are okay with it. The kids are there, and they ignore the dangers of living just like that without a formalized relationship. They ignore the fact that they ought to formalize a relationship for many other reasons, which are both strategic, spiritual, moral, and what have you. So it is good that people should also, in fact, I thank God for this topic, because it is an education that we are trying to pass across to people, so that they know, those who have been living in it can really, you know, get up from that kind of slumber. They can get up from that kind of, you know, the ignorance or the negligence, I want to say, that they have been into to be able to retrace their steps.
Okay, please, Mr. Liu, Thank you, love doctor, but the parents of the girl have no problem with me, but my conscience is judging me in all. Please, Mr. Leo, let my situation be concluded on. Thanks. He has concluded now. Go and see them. If they don't have any problem, discuss with them. Yes.
I want to chip something to that man. I think this is the second time he is raising this. We had somebody write this same issue on this platform. This should be the second time this person. So it means he is actually burdened by it, which will not be good that we gloss over it. But we have already spoken. I think this will also serve as a lesson for other people who are yet to engage into relationships. So that you are to take somebody's daughter or somebody's son, I want to say, and start living with when the formalities are already concluded upon. Because now we are wanting to do damage repair. I want to call it damage repair now. Yeah, but if things were followed normally, it wouldn't be what we are talking about now. So what he is supposed to do at this level is, one, his family can discuss with the family of the lady, and they give an accord. They say, okay, we have taken a token. You know, in those days, it used to be a call or not. When they accept a gift, when they accept something, a token, it is accepted that, okay, we have given our go-ahead. So if they can get to this kind of this arrangement, the token, they transfer, so that they give them the go-ahead to go out to sign at the Civil Status Registration Center, it will be good for him rather than staying, because for the family, you'll be refusing that you want to give the accord for what they're already living together. So it is an issue of procedure. It's principle we're talking about here. It's formality.
No,
so
don't chop that chop, or you cannot dance that dance.
Yeah, no,
that's what this boy is doing now.
It is already there. We are wanting now to look at the damage repair procedure, which can only have to do with him or his family, because I know marriage issues are not being spoken about by the boy. Let his family meet the lady's family. They come to an agreement, because and then
even there are many cases where we know that even dowry is not paid all.
Yeah.
Many times dowry is finished later.
Okay.
Yes,
so
they pay
do
half,
something.
they
Do something.
50,000. They come and pay 500,000 later.
Okay.
Exactly.
Good evening, Mr. Liu. This is a very important topic. Honestly, women have to be blamed. They believe in empty promises. Also seen cases where a man stays with a lady for too long without any marriage, and she unfortunately dies and he is forced to marry. The cops come we stay is very bad and should be discouraged. From Madam BB writing from Limbe. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the entire crew. When two people living together for years with children without any official something, the blame is 90% the parents. Most parents decide to choose partners for their children nowadays because of mostly personal interest. 95% of come we stay nowadays is encouraged by the girl because of hot love. Anya Christian is writing from Yaoundé. I don't know what hot love is. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the wonderful panelists today in the studio. Please, my beloved apostles, can I call my union with my wife as come we stay? This is because a girl I love since 2007 when I was 17 and she was 15. After our school life together till 2018, we decided to legalize our union. Till today, my mother has vowed not to recognize my marriage because she wanted a girl for me who happens to be her friend's daughter, but I have done the traditional rites and paid the bride price. My father attended, but my mother and all my sisters are all against me and my wife. My wife's parents are all comfortable with my marriage. My mother has vowed that over her dead body will she accept my union. Is Clinton writing from Kribi? What should I do, Apostle Ambe? It's a critical case here.
Yes, very, very critical. The first thing I'll have to let you understand, Clinton, is that not everybody in the family has ever supported any marriage successfully.
Never.
Just believe me as I'm telling you. That means take what I'm talking as is God talking to you. This is God talking to you direct. None of us got the endorsement from our side, neither from the woman's side. The people were available caused the marriage to go through. There were people from my in-laws who didn't want me. There were people from my side who did not want my wife. But those who were available made the marriage successful. As long as your father went there and the other parties came and you paid the bride price officially, brother, your mother can sing the drama she is singing for the next 20,000 years. It will not change anything.
You deal with
That's the simple truth.
as your mother.
Deal with your mother as your mother.
Full stop.
If she has to hate you because of the woman you choose to get married to, because she wanted you to take her choice, she's not going to live with that woman. No, it is us who are married, who live under the same roof with our wives, who can tell you what is happening in our houses. Your mother will not tell you. Forget you see people walking on the road, their faces are shining. Not every house is that smooth. So you have to take what. Remember, you have stayed with that girl for many years. If you could not separate with that girl, it means you could accommodate the girl. You were 17, the girl was 15. And you lived until you are almost, I'm sure, about getting to your 30s now. You've not been able to separate with her. Homes have not spent up to 3 hours. Their marriages have not been up to 3 months, they scatter. And you have been with that girl. With
the blessings of both
with
parents.
The blessings of both parents and the blessings of priests and big occasion. With the biggest cars that drove them with white gown and black suit, with bridesmaids and groomsmen. The marriages didn't stay up to 3 months. You have done your little marriage and you are still together for more than 10 to 15 years. My friend, that is a sign that that girl is your future. I'm telling you, it's not that easy. What you a man, people like, oh, so we are celebrating, because I'll be celebrating my 16th anniversary marriage in this April. Wow. We have tried. We have tried. Brother, I say we have done what? Tried. So just keep that your woman that God has given to you very well. Your mother doesn't give children. Yes, okay. Give her your gift. If she refuses, it's her choice.
Okay, let's take the first.
You know, go kill yourself.
Let's take the first intervention from Mrs. Asanji Yvette from Pomenda.
Good evening once more, Mr. Leo. This aspect of cohabiting, or in bracket, can we stay, in quotes, we equally call it trial marriage. You know, people want to first of all try. They want to test and see, can you and I live together? Then the lady packs in. Most often it's the lady that packs in, and then they are testing to see if they can be husband and wife. Marriage is not something that you test. You can't test marriage. No. It's either you are going in, you take the bold step to go in for the marriage and you're ready to face whatever comes with it, or you stay. If you want to test it first before you finally, legalize it, you're just wasting your time, because who will have meat? Let's say you are hungry here now, you have meat at your disposal. Will you even bother to go and pay the meat since the meat is available for you to be eating? No. Once a woman is already staying with a man, she's already acting like the man's wife. Sex, she's providing. House chores, she's doing everything. Cleaning, everything that a man needs from a wife. So how will he even be encouraged to go and pay your bride price again when you are already acting like a wife to him, even after he has not yet married you? So women should not put themselves to this level where they make it difficult, because they're making it difficult for the men. If a man loves you, it is not the money. We have said it on this platform. It's not how much money you have that you can go for the marriage. Just do everything. If a man loves you, he will come and see your family, ask for your hand in marriage, do what is needed, have you, then do the civil status registry. It's important. And then have the blessings. The blessings there must not mean a wedding. You can have a pastor even bless you even at a traditional marriage. You can have a pastor bless you even after signing at the court. So, come stay is something that, even in as much as it's becoming normal, it is not the right way of going about marriage. Most people that have stayed together and end up having children, I think somebody wrote me a message like that for counseling. They have stayed together for 8 years, had 2 children. Now, in that kind of case, and the man is cheating again, in that kind of a case, the lady has made up her mind to go. What will you say? I think that's even the best thing for her to do. She's staying there on what grounds? Is she your wife? No. The law does not recognize that relationship. The family does not recognize it. Not even God. God does not recognize it too.
Thank you, Mrs. Asanji Yvette. We all were enjoying your delivery out there. But she raised an issue, I'm sure somebody said that already, tasting, wanting to taste to see whether this thing works or not. And it is strictly against the preaching of the church that actually forbids premarital sex. There should be no testing before marriage. Now, which one works well? Is there a guarantee that if you don't test before marriage, your marriage is going to work? And if you were to look at those people who test before marriage, is there a guarantee that if you don't test and then you marry, it will work? And that if you test and then you marry, it will not work? You just briefly before. Yes. No, briefly. He has to come in, but just say something on that.
Yes, she said trial marriage. Mr. Leo, we have seen people lived in trial marriages in many situations and successfully lived together. That's why you see sometimes we say, after 5 years, we're going to bless our marriage in Catholic Church, in Presbyterian Church. We're going to organize a party. They will not use the veil because the woman has been unveiled since from the first child. But you see, when people study themselves for a given period of time, it is easier for them to stay together. Rather than somebody you go and discover in the house, and at the end of the day, you see scatter and separate. We are not encouraging the idea of trial marriage, but we, out of experience, we have seen the society, some of them have been successful. Some of them have been successful. So we cannot just like roll out the idea completely because of our religious stand. We as Christians, we don't tolerate trial marriage. I stand on that firmly as a pastor, and I cannot tolerate it. But from a societal point of view, I say when we are judging things on this platform, we should not just carry our Christianity, because not everybody watching this thing is a Christian. You make some people who are not part of your religion feel like they are doomed. They are condemned.
Out of this world, yes.
Yes.
No, Apostle Ambe, if you talk about our religion or Christianity, does any provision in the society gives in for trial marriage? Does any provision, is it the law of the country, the law in the village, the law in the church, or the law in the court? Is there anything like a trial marriage somewhere on that note? I think there is nothing like that. No law defends you on that. It means that anything that happens during that time, you're on your own. If that woman dies during that time, you pay the dowry. In some villages, that's what happens. Now you don't
pay
have
the dowry.
You pay the bride price.
For what?
People have died
Do you have
like
any
that.
use?
Yes.
There's no use for trial marriage now. Nothing defends trial marriage. What are you paying bride price?
No, you will not bury the woman until you pay dowry, a bride price.
Shall stay with you.
That is it. That is it. That's what happens in so many cultures and so many things.
So
I think there is no provision in the society, even in our communities, that explains that a man must try before he gets a wife. Because during that time is very dangerous. What if you try for 2 years and it doesn't work, you leave. Take another one again, try. Another 3 years, it doesn't work. Because during that trial period, everybody pretends. They try to show you the best part of them. And then when you finally get married to them, a lot of things come in. I think there is something we must understand. People don't go in for this kind of can we stay because they want to try something about marriage. No. Many of them go for fun, for sex and everything. And then in the course, they are hooked in the course. Like a girl will just come to your house. The first day she comes, she just bring a handbag. The second day she comes, she bring a handbag with some few pants inside. And then sleep there and wash it and hang it. The next day again, she comes and then bring tricot. And then the next day you want to come, she wears by her own dress now hang there. Very soon she want to come, she bring one bag of dress. And then before you discover, she does not go back again. And then you know that you are not spending money again. At least you are enjoying the sex that you used to pay. Now you are enjoying it for free. You know, that kind of a thing. And then some of those girls come and they are the ones looking for food for the guy. Most of them, they are the ones coming to struggle and get food for that guy to eat. Now, when a guy begins to eat like that and begin to get free sex, everything for free, would he still respect you? He will still be looking for the fresh young girl that is still going to school, the fresh young girl that maybe has a job or something, a trade or whatever. Hang on that girl, and tomorrow the story is different. And most of these guys end up as cheaters. They cheat. They have different. After all, you never marry you. Now so they go talk.
Are you saying that those who do not taste don't cheat?
No, they do. But I'm saying that in most cases, these guys they go to extremes. You will see, you come and even try to reach them. They will beat you. The way they beat these girls on the street, they will beat you. Oh, you be a drag them. You'll be begging, say, "But that did not make us."
Because you are come with.
That did not make us so. That did not make us so.
Is it because you are come with say that they will treat you that way?
That is what most of these guys do. Go to some of these communities. I've lived in some of these communities, like in Tico and some of the places where I lived, and I've seen so many terrible things. A guy will beat a girl until hunch on the face because he knows that nobody will care. Even if I beat you, your family, you don't have anybody that can come and stand. After there is no document that shows that we are married or whatever. But this time we are going to handle all that. we are coming with a very dangerous spirit that you touch a woman anyhow on the street, you go in for it. Now anybody, especially when they televise, you and that guy that televised that particular beating, you are going in for it. That's what we are coming to do this time. So don't take a child, a woman, and then you begin to play Ojolo with, begin to play Superman with. You taste, and then you try her jealousy. When she go, when
you are talking to the man.
Yes.
Who should not taste. The man. There are some who do come with stay and are also very caring. But when I get the beginning of your submissions, you said the girl first comes with a bag. Tomorrow she comes with this. It is a girl who came now. Now you are talking to the man.
It's the girl. I am going to, let me just balance this thing I'm trying to talk about. Some of our girls are really most of our girls are really naughty when it comes to some things in their families. They find a guy's place a comfort zone for them. Especially if the guy has succeeded to have a bed with blue light, with TV, with posters for naked girls and for wall. You know, you just say, oh, I keep myself. You sleep on that bed, and then for 2 days you did not get up. Nobody did not call you to come and wash plates. Nobody did not come and disturb you to come and clean the house. Nobody, and then you just feel good and fine. And the boy come and call you. You know, some of these boys have learned some things on Facebook and on Nigeria films. They cook egg on this on plate and come and give you, say, oh, food on the breakfast on the bed, and you feel so wonderful. You say, this guy is going to kill me here, or I will not go anywhere. That is exactly what is happening. These girls like comfort. They like comfort, and especially if those girls who like sex a lot, if they get a guy who can sex her well, what happens? She stays there. Than to go about running up and down, she has seen where she can get what she needs, and she will stay there until nobody can distract her. That is exactly. And some of these guys, like you just said, Mr. Leo, these guys are very caring. They know how to take care of some of these girls. These boys, I'm telling you, some of these bad boys, they know how to care. That if you allow your wife to slice into your territory, you are finished. You will see a married woman will go to that kind of boy and stay there.
Yeah, remember the day we were talking about Valentine's Day.
Yes.
There's one guy who wrote he wrote from, was in Balmayo that
his wife was gone for 2 days.
For 2 days.
That was not arrived now.
Yes.
That is it. And if you want to check, you will see her in the house of one boy with blue bulb. Yeah. You will see her there because they know how to do those things. And that's it.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Carlson Benyo, enjoying your program from Bafia. Okay, the guy wrote from Bafia. Good evening, fellow panelists. I enjoy your topic for today, and I wish to know the difference between bride price and dowry. Amma Elizabeth is writing from Idi now. Okay, can we take note of that so that we can provide answer? Mr. Liu, after having children, a man's daughter was about to marry. The family of the wife hijacked the bride price because he did not pay bride price for his wife. What can we do? It's Elvis again. See, after having children, a man's daughter was about to marry. The family of the wife hijacked the bride price because he did not pay bride price for his wife. What can we do? It's Elvis writing from, okay, I'm sure it's clear. Now, Reverend TAtoh, do you understand what he's saying? That you are living with a lady and you did not pay the bride price. Now, the girl that is a result of you are living together with the lady is about to get married. And the family of the lady hijacks the bride price because the man did not pay the bride price for their sister or daughter. You understand?
No, I'm getting it from...
That is, you are living with your wife.
Yes.
You have not paid bride price for your wife. You guys have a daughter.
Yes.
The daughter grows up and is about to get married and is getting married to another man. And the family of your wife hijacks the bride price because you fail to pay the bride price.
In my opinion, they are not hijacking.
Okay.
They are not hijacking.
What are they doing?
The bride price is going to its rightful destination.
Okay.
He did not pay the dowry over, so there's just going to be a recognition of that man as the father of that woman, not that he is due the bride price. Yes, the bride price.
The family of the wife is correct to.
It's correct.
Okay.
Yes, because the man did not duly perform the requirements he was supposed to do, the rights he was supposed to perform on the woman.
Okay.
So he is just going to have a recognition as the girl's father, but he should not claim anything.
Okay. So it's clear. Almost everybody.
Africa.
It's Africa. So I'm sure your question has been answered. Good evening, Mr. Liu. There is a saying in Islam that says, if the rightful become impossible, then the wrongful becomes possible. That's if boy find a girl that they love each other, but girl's mother and the family are refusing, then I tell you, come we stay will be their next option. Ahmed Salim, writing from Yaoundé in Simbok. A good evening to you, Ahmed. Hello, sirs. I'm still Ako Junior. I have a question. If a man takes a woman without paying any dowry to the woman and the both of them have kids, suddenly after some years the guy dies and leaves his properties, would the woman have rights, the woman properties? Yeah.
That's one of the things we've been saying here. That is one of the disadvantages of not going to a status registry. Let's make this very clear. This is one of the reasons why we tell ladies, you are disadvantaged when you are not legally married. You are disadvantaged because while the court can recognize fatherhood per DNA, but you will discover that legally you will not be, they will not give you property. The court has no legal grounds to transfer property to a person, to a couple stay relationship. Whether it was for 28 years, there is no legal grounds to transfer ownership. Because even when you go to sign, anybody who has married will tell you, they tell you, is it joint property or not? You see, don't getting married does not mean that, even getting married does not even mean that your wife will get your property.
Yes.
You get it? So what if there was no even marriage?
Not even marriage.
So you are really, really disadvantaged. That's why we tell women to protect yourself, especially when you people are building wealth together. Because some of these women actually build these things with this man, but they will not give you.
But now,
if it's the man's name, except it's in the woman's name.
Yes, but what many persons think that one factor that is promoting this phenomenon in our communities are the parents who, for some reason, would not want to bless such a union, and the girl may get frustrated and ends up living with the boy. What if the parents say we cannot bless this union, but the girl says I must marry the guy? Because if the parents cannot bless the wedding, means they would not accept the bride price.
Okay. No, I think we don't encourage people to go ahead to marry without parental blessing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. It's good to do everything to, in fact, to receive parental blessing over your relationship. That is one side of the coin. But the other side of the coin is this: parents should also avoid holding their daughters or their sons from marrying who they love for subjective reasons. What are some of these subjective reasons? He doesn't have the kind of job we thought he should have. He's not our tribe. On some of these things that do not really have any bearing on the other. So some of those things are not things that parents should, because at times some people are found between the hard place and the rock because their parents are hard on them because of subjective reasons. If it is something that is objective, voila, you can be thinking of giving the parents a reason. But if it's something that does not really have a very strong bearing, parents should at least learn to compromise. In fact, by the way, you will, if you've done the best you can as a parent and the child is insisting, you are not the one who is going to live with the man. It's not you who will go and live with the woman. I remember here to go and witness their marriage. They sign. There will be no problem with that. But now we are looking at it from an African perspective. We are looking at the parental blessings that a relationship will have. Then at times, one of the things that even makes the thing complicated is that some of the parents who were never responsible for a child, because you have now gotten to a point where you can marry, they start claiming responsibility. So we are just saying that parents as well should try to look for a middle ground. When a child is bent on like that, at a certain point in time, say, okay, for the sake of the child's happiness, go ahead to bless it. Except there are very genuine and tangible reasons for which you think they should not go ahead.
Yeah, Apostle, you had something to add to this, where the parents are bent on not saying either the guy or the girl get married to yes, to their loved ones?
Yes, I've seen many cases like that, and I've handled several cases like that. First was in Southwest. A mother insisted that her daughter would not get married to a particular guy, and the marriage was resisted for approximately 6 years. Both of them stood the test of time, stayed, but at the end, the mother did not give her consent. But they went ahead, got married. As I talked to you, they are divorced now, and the girl could not deliver any child in that marriage. That's to let us understand that parental blessings are very, very fundamental. Proverbs 20:20 says, "He that dishonoreth his father and his mother, his lamb shall be put out." So there is this principle that God has given authority over parents. As a matter of fact, obeying your parents is the only commandment in Scripture with an insurance policy. It says, obey your father and your mother so that your days may be long. So there's an insurance policy in obeying your father. I don't know why God chose to entrust such authority and power in the hands of parents. We should not take that for granted. If your parents refuse a relationship, be patient till they change their mind. If they refuse and you don't have the patience, find another person. That's my conclusion.
Yeah, but what if the parents themselves have somebody for you?
If the parents, they have somebody for you that you do not want to get married, it's equally your choice at that time also. You have the right to deny from them that you're not going to get married to that person.
But in that case, what do you do?
In that
if
case,
they insist that you must get married to...
If they insist that you must get married, then you stay with them in the house there. Let them eat you.
I think there is a very complicated... It's a very complicated